With especially aggravated kidnapping, you're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy, do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
Got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughened him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
All right. We've got, sorry, it's a mess here. Lots happening here. We're going to go straight to court where we have...
But if you can't control your emotions, I would have to be able to wait in the hallway.
We have a verdict.
Out. If the verdict is read, then that can be provided to you. If you're able to control your emotions, you're certainly welcome to stay in here. But out of respect to the jurors who had to make difficult decisions, I just don't want anyone to say or do anything that would cause the jurors any undue distress or what have you, or make them feel like in any way their decisions were not being respected. So, and again, just following what the administrative orders are regarding decorum in the courtroom. So that's all I'm going to say on that. I believe everybody else understands, and everybody has behaved along with those guidelines all along. So I don't foresee any problems. All right, let's bring the jurors in.
After 2 hours of deliberation, the jurors have reached a verdict in the trial of Wade Wilson, accused of killing 2 women within 48 hours. He provided no defense. His attorneys called no witnesses. He did not speak in his own defense. And as a matter of fact, in the closing statements, his own attorneys acknowledged his guilt. And that's a tough thing to overcome. Aside from just a couple of witnesses, his tattoos were never mentioned. Most of the tattoos, the most prominent, the ones on his face, were recent acquisitions while he was in custody. Jurors are coming in right now, and we expect to have the verdict read briefly. Once the verdict is over, we're going to proceed to the sentencing phase, which will be separate. The defendant is facing the death penalty if convicted, which I really can't think of anything other than a conviction happening here, according to the judge's instructions.
All right, please be seated. All right. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my understanding is you have reached a verdict. All right, do you have the verdict form? All right, we pass that to the bailiff. Verdict form appears to be in order. I'll have the clerk publish the verdict.
In the Circuit Court of the 20th Judicial Circuit, in and for Lee County, Florida, criminal action. State of Florida versus Wade Wilson. Case number 19 CF 0568. Verdict. We, the jury, finds as follow as to the defendant in this case. Count 1, first-degree murder, Christine Melton. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. Count 2, grand theft motor vehicle. The defendant is guilty of grand theft motor vehicle. Count 3, battery. The defendant is guilty of battery. Count 4, first-degree murder, Diane Ruiz. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. Count 5, burglary of dwelling. The defendant is guilty of burglary of a dwelling. Count 6, first-degree petty theft. The defendant is guilty of first-degree petty theft. Dated 6/12/24, so say we all, 4-person.
All right. Does either party wish to have the jury polled?
Yes, please.
All right. Let me just find number.
They'll poll the jury to make sure every juror agrees with that verdict.
Okay. Wait, no.
Should do it by number here because the jury is still going to be deliberating for the penalty phase at this point and considering whether death is the proper solution.
Juror number 97, is this your verdict and the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Juror 234, is this your verdict and the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Juror 3, is this your verdict and the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Juror 205, is this your verdict and the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Juror 101, is this your verdict and the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes, ma'am.
Juror 215, is this your verdict and the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes, ma'am.
Juror 87, is this your verdict and the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Juror 362, is this your verdict and the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Juror 136, is this your verdict and the verdict of the jury as a whole? Juror 193, is this your verdict and the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Juror 315, is this your verdict and the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Juror 309, is this your verdict and the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do is send you back to the jury room for a few moments. Let me discuss some things with the attorneys, and then I'll bring you back up.
All right.
So as the jury leaves for a minute, they're not done. They still have another phase.
Just leave everything here. Sorry.
Another phase of court to go
Leave
through.
everything here for the moment.
Now the judge just basically has to look at scheduling for the sentencing phase, see if they're ready to begin right now. We've heard that it will take about 2 days because there are, I believe, 4 expert witnesses the defense has to call. The state still wants to interview the defendant himself with their expert. Obviously, they're going to be looking to see if there are any diagnoses that would.
All right, let the record reflect the jury's
anything
exit
less
the
than a
courtroom.
death penalty would be appropriate.
All right, so procedurally, I wanted to find out from the parties what their preference was at this point towards scheduling and what to tell them as far as when to come back. I know we talked about it previously. I just want to make sure.
Judge, I would ask that we have them back here at 9 a.m. on Thursday for the penalty phase proceeding of next week.
Okay, and are you requesting the court to adjudicate at this time?
Yes.
Okay. Anything?
I agree with scheduling 9 o'clock Thursday morning.
Thursday morning. Is not going to be possible, you don't think, to start on Wednesday?
No, I have one professional scheduled here on Friday. I have another one Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday.
Okay.
A third one Tuesday, and then obviously the state has the opportunity.
Okay, fair. That's fine.
And we anticipate 1 to 2 days, so for sure
Okay.
2 days at the most.
All right. Same with the defense?
I agree.
Okay. So I'm going to bring them back in, and I'll give them the same instruction regarding not discussing anything or any of that, or looking up anything, any of that regards, and then come back at 9 a.m. As for, let me see the verdict form, please. Mr. Wilson, as the jury has found you guilty as charged under each count under the indictment, I do adjudicate you guilty of first-degree murder of Christine Melton. I adjudicate you guilty of grand theft motor vehicle. I adjudicate you guilty of battery. I adjudicate you guilty of first-degree murder of Diane Ruiz. And I adjudicate you guilty of burglary of a dwelling. And I adjudicate you guilty of first-degree petty theft. We'll bring the jury back in. I'll tell them to come back next Thursday. We'll bring them in.
Just no response. Almost like an uninterested observer.
Certified copies of Mr. Wilson's fingerprints taken at this time.
We'll do that after.
Thank you, Judge.
So he's been adjudicated guilty. Jury's going to come in and find out what the schedule is for the sentencing phase, which will not begin immediately today, but it sounds like tomorrow morning. Deliberation time was 2 hours and 12 minutes by my count.
Jurors entering.
Probably 2 hours is more accurate. Which would be one of the shorter deliberation periods. Once again, we can see that the defendant has something on his waist, possibly a shock belt, some sort of restraint device.
All right, please be seated. All right, so ladies and gentlemen of the jury, having completed what we call the guilt phase of the proceedings, it's now time to schedule what will be called the penalty phase. I previously instructed you on that when we first started. You were under the same orders I previously gave in terms of not doing any research, not looking up anything, discussing anything about this case with anyone, including close family members and even among yourselves at this point. Your deliberations are complete, but we're going to have you come back for the penalty phase to do not discuss anything else at this point, even among yourselves and, like I said, with anyone else. Don't watch local news television. Don't read any local newspapers. Stay away from any kind of internet articles or anything else regarding this case. Does everybody understand those instructions? All right. Can everybody follow those instructions? All right. So we will have you come back. We expect the next phase to take place next Thursday and Friday. And so we would have you come back next Thursday morning at 9 a.m. That is June the 20th at 9 a.m. And the bailiff will show you where to meet for that. So remember those instructions and come back June 20th at 9 a.m. You may go.
The big difference we're going to see between the guilt phase and the sentencing phase is the attire of the defendant. Now that he's adjudicated guilty, there's no more presumption of innocence, and he will be attending court most likely in the jail attire. Have to say I don't know who won the internet today, but Nurse for God, how time has flown by. Love you all. Thank you. 13 months. Tammy Coleman.
All right. The record reflect the jury's exit the courtroom. Please be seated.
Case Scarpetta.
Any objections to the instructions I just gave the jury?
There you go. No.
Okay. No. Very well then.
And 9 months for Nancy.
I know the state has requested fingerprints, and so we'll do that. Do we need 2 sets?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right. Any legal objections to that?
No.
Okay. Anything the court needs to address prior to recessing until next Thursday?
It's our understanding, and I think the court's aware then that the 2 alternates would also be instructed to come back Thursday. They'd sit as part of the penalty proceeding and then step in if need be.
That's correct. So we will have to contact them and have them come back Thursday at 9 a.m. as well on June 20th. And I know you said you thought you might have some objection to that, but was that true?
Objection to that? No.
Okay. All right.
No, that's fine. I had filed a motion with regard to payment of my mitigation expert for lodging and the like. That's pending. I haven't heard from JAC yet. I'm going to go ahead and send you an order.
Okay.
And then we'll just deal with it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other matters the court needs to address?
No, Your Honor. I have a question. As far as the evidence,
yes.
Will we need it for next week?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, bring all that back, and also I have the bailiff collect all the notebooks back there and bring them to me. And then I think they would start with new notebooks for the penalty phase. I don't know that they would use these notebooks. I'm not sure. We have to look into that between now and Thursday. Yeah. But I'll collect them and I'll hold them until next Thursday.
I think they can use them, but we'll look into it.
Okay. Any other matters?
No.
Okay. All right then. Mr. Wilson, you get fingerprinted, and we'll see you back here next Thursday, June 20th at 9 a.m.
All the bailiffs around him.
Move that screen.
This court is remanding Mr. Wilson to the custody of the sheriff's office.
Yes, and Mr. Wilson be remanded to the custody of the sheriff, be held without bond.
Thank you.
Okay.
I guess they just have him take fingerprints right there on the TV. Just touch the TV and we'll get them later. No, I'm just kidding. They've got a little desk right there. He's being fingerprinted full set right here. Five bailiffs. And the defendant stands a few inches above the tallest. He hasn't shown any type of emotion whatsoever. A little bit of discomfort when his dad was on the stand testifying. But really just like an attentive but uninterested party. Betsy, thank you very much. Congratulations on 3 months. It's wonderful. I'm actually looking forward to some of the expert testimony. Just I want to get inside his mind and figure out what happened, what led to this point. I know there was some drug use, probably some alcohol and drug use, but I'm not sure if that's what contributed to this or if it was just a sudden snap or if there was some sort of previous record that might have given some sort of red flags. Killed the mics for the moment. I guess this is one way to get a certified copy of your fingerprints. You have half the police force, the judge, 4 attorneys, witness you getting them taken. Yeah, I think this will be official. And there goes the defendant, now the convict, as he's been adjudicated guilty, just awaiting sentencing. And we're done. All right. I don't know how long he's been in custody. The crime, I believe, was committed in 2019, but we do know that he had a previous attorney that passed away while he was representing him, and that caused a significant delay in the case as well. So that I've now created a portal to take us back to Karen Reed. I'm doing this because I've had complaints that I jam too much stuff together in one video, and it's hard to follow for people who are not watching live. This helps the playlist stay organized. But just to recap, the jury has found Wade Wilson guilty of all the charges as charged, no lesser included, and so he definitely is still facing the death penalty, and that's the next phase of the trial. It's going to start a week from tomorrow. We anticipate, according to the lawyers, it will take about 2 days. There will be at least 4, possibly 5 experts that will testify as to his, mental state and any other factors that might be mitigating in the sentencing. But the same jury members that found him guilty in 2 hours and 12 minutes of deliberation are going to have an opportunity to weigh in with a verdict on the sentence as well. So that will be next week. But at this point, I think the best outcome he could hope for would be life in prison without parole, which is something the jury might select if they determine, based on whatever their reasoning, that he's not it's not appropriate for death penalty in his case. So, all right, we are going to portal back over to Karen Reed and pick up where we left off. We are about to have, we anticipate, Mr. Proctor take the stand. We are a day behind on that one, so we're trying to catch up on where we were there. It's going to be a long day today, I know it. You guys are amazing. Thanks to the amazing mods who are just handling this whiplash like a pro. You're doing great. Let's see. I think that's it. I think we're good there. If you're not able to join with us tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love. Smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe until we go live again in moments. I don't know how many times we're giving away the internet today. Weather Watch is like, my neck hurts. Who do I sue over this one? Contact Matthew Harris Law. I think he's organizing the class action lawsuit against me for the whiplash. So, this sounds good. All right. We'll see you on the flip side, you guys. Be good to each other. We'll see you in just a moment with Karen Reed. Continue day 22. See you. 22.